Hello friends, today Albert and I are cruising in luxury. We're cruising in the 2020 Panamera GTS. Now, the Panamera is an interesting model in many ways, but first of all I'd like to address that I did a video when this car was released a little over a year ago saying what a waste of time this car would be. And the reason that I gave was that for $24,000, which is the difference between the Panamera 4S and the GTS, you're only getting 13 horsepower. So it's, this is Porsche wasting our time again with dollied up models that give very little additional performance. I'd like to say right now, I was wrong. Yes, I was a little hasty, and now that I've driven the GTS, I can say I really appreciate this model. I can see the value in it. I can totally understand why someone would pay the extra to get the GTS model. I mean, GTS models still are really package models invented by the marketing department, not by the engineering departments at Porsche. But this one, it gets the package right. And while it's only 13 horsepower more than the 4S, the V8 engine, which is a downgrade, detuned engine from the turbo model, really provides the character that makes this car a special car. So what are we going to do in this video? Well, I'm going to stop off near the beach and we're going to go through and look at what you get within the GTS package and add it all up so you can see the value with the GTS package. And we'll have a look at this particular car, which I don't know who configured this, but they had an eye for detail. The person that configured this car wanted every plastic surface covered, every bit of stitching that can be done. They really went overboard. So this car has $50,000 worth of options on it, which takes it from a $130,000 car to a $180,000 car. It's not for everybody, but I can certainly appreciate the detail that went into making this car. So we'll go over those details as well, just for interest. But first, let's take a moment to talk about the Panamera models in general. And I think it's kind of a shame at the moment because Porsche have got them right, finally, and they're not selling. Yes, you know, the original Panameras actually sold pretty well, but they were flawed. They were not an attractive car. Many of the models didn't perform that well, and a lot of them handled very poorly. You know, you get some of the base models or the 4 models in the original series. Oh, they were battle cruisers wallowing around on the highway. These days, right from the base model right up to the turbo, there's plenty of power. The engines sound great, but best of all, they all handle pretty well. And they look great. I think Porsche, across the entire model range, from the 718 right up to the 911, they all have a consistent look about them now, and they all look great. So yes, the current Panamera has got it all right, but they don't sell. Only 1 in 10 Porsches sold in the US is a Panamera, and that's nosediving. And this is a pretty new model. And the reason for that is people no longer want to buy, you know, comfortable GT cars. If you're buying a comfortable highway cruiser these days, you're buying a large SUV. The days of GT cars or comfortable luxury cars are coming to a close. And that's true across the range. You look at the BMW 7 Series, you look at the S-Class Mercedes, they just don't get purchased anymore. So it's sad because I love this type of car. I love a lower down luxury car. A big powerful GT cruiser. You know, it's a fun car to drive, and you know, if you're doing a lot of highway miles, there's just nothing better to drive in. Nice and quiet, heaps of power, great handling. It's a wonderful package, but these days are gone. So yes, the sales of the Panamera continue to decline despite the fact they've got it so right. So we'll take a moment to look at how this car performs and handles before we move on to looking at what you get with the GTS package. As I said before, the V8 engine really suits this car. It's the detuned engine from the turbo, and I don't really miss the power of the turbo. I like the power that this car provides, and of course it's coupled with that 8-speed PDK transmission, and Porsche just do the PDK better than any other manufacturer. It responds instantly, and it reads your mind as to what gear you want to be in. So right now I'm doing 75. If I catch it off guard and put my foot down, you watch how instantly it changes. And it's away. And it pulls hard. This thing's got some balls. But there's no drama to it. Even if I pop this car into Sport Plus mode now, so it's a little more eager on the throttle, it turns on the Sport exhaust, it stiffens up the suspension, put my foot down. You hear a little bit more engine sound. She's away. Yeah, it's a pretty nice car to drive on the highway. I don't know that I'd ever want to use a big heavy GT car like this on the track, but for highway cruising, she's a monster. And the GTS package includes the PASM and the self-leveling air suspension. And I think for the Panamera, these options are a must. Not only do they help smooth out the bumps, but this is a big heavy car, so you want that slightly lowered suspension. And that air suspension, this is the new air suspension with the multiple pumps, so it can manage each wheel individually. It allows this car to handle beautifully. You know, any sudden movements, you don't get a lot of body roll. Yes, I'm very impressed with how nimble it feels for such a large hearse of a car. So we'll head over to the beach now and we'll go over what's included in the GTS package, because it's strangely not readily available anywhere on the website or anything, and it's pretty interesting what is included. And we'll have a look, as I said, at the options on this very high spec model. Okay, so let's take a look at what you get with this GTS package. Here in the US at least, the difference in price between a 4S and a GTS is $24,000. So, what do we get for that $24,000? Well, first of all, we get three things borrowed from the turbo. Obviously, the 4-litre turbocharged V8 engine, very nice. We get the silly wing on the back, which everybody seems to love. Looks a little overcomplicated to me, but fair enough. And we get the brakes from the turbo as well, the 390 and 365 millimeter brakes. Now, on this car, we've got the PCCB brakes, so not the same brakes, but yes, you get the upgraded brakes, which are excellent. Then you get a bunch of options. First one being standard 20-inch wheels, up from the 19-inch wheels that you get on the 4S, which is worth $2,180. Second, you get the full leather up here, leather down here, leather around here, leather everywhere. That is an expensive option at $3,790. You get the 14-way seats with the memory package, very nice. Normally $1,780. You get the LED headlights with the PDLS, $1,020. Here's an expensive one. You get the Sport Design package. Now, this is $5,660. Changes the look of the front, gives you the side skirts, changes the look of the rear a little bit. This is one that I'm neither here nor there. I quite like the look of the standard Panamera as well, so I'm not sure that I would ever upgrade to the Sport package, but as a bundle, it's not a bad idea. So yeah, that's expensive. Big part of the cost of the GTS is that $5,600. You get the model written on the doors for $310. Thankfully, this car does not have that. I'm not a fan of that feature either. This next one, I'm a big fan of, the active air suspension and the PASM. I think this should be high on your shopping list if you're looking to get a Panamera. It really transforms the handling of these cars. Now, of course, Porsche claims that they've tuned the suspension for the GTS models, and that may be true, but I think a bigger part of it is just having the air suspension and the PASM. It really smooths out the ride and really tightens up the ride. And as you can see here, you can adjust the height of the car depending on what mode you're in. But yeah, boy, this car rides beautifully and handles beautifully. And it's tricky to get that balance. Next is the Sport Chrono Pack, which of course you get the little wheel and the clock up here, and you can do launch controls and stuff like that. And of course it gives you the Sport Plus mode. Yeah, $2,290. I'm not sure you need that in a Panamera, but nice that it's in this package. Next is another expensive one, the Sports Exhaust, which with the V8, I think yes, I think the Sports Exhaust should be very high on your shopping list, but of course it's part of the GTS package. Yeah, really makes a difference. You can really hear the exhaust from the rear of the car when you've got it turned on. makes the best of the sound of this engine. So yeah, big fan of the sports exhaust in the GTS. And next is one of my favorites as well, only $1,000, the brushed aluminium interior, but unique to the GTS. Unique to the GTS is the black brushed aluminium interior. Very pretty, I think. Really adds to the interior of the car, really makes it look upmarket. It's one of my favorite interiors. It's very, very pretty. So much better than that ugly gloss black, piano black that you get in the standard Panameras. Really lifts the interior. And sadly, you also get a little bit of weight for free. 250 pounds approximately is what a GTS weighs more than the 4S. So for $24,000, you're getting a lot of stuff. And if you add up all of those options, guess what? Yes, they all add up to $24,000. Plus, you're getting those turbo extras, the turbo engine, the turbo brakes, and of course, the rear wing. So what are those worth? Maybe $8,000, maybe $10,000. So all up, you're saving whatever those are worth. So you're getting all those options as part of the package, plus the turbo engine, wing, and brakes. So it does make the GTS package pretty much worthwhile. And I like most of the things that are in the GTS package. So yeah, it's a pretty cool car. But what makes this particular individual car even cooler is all the extra $50,000 worth of stuff that's been put on it. Now, I understand $50,000 is a lot, and whoever spec'd this car spec'd it in such a way to make it perfect for them. But yeah, this is a beautiful example of a GTS. But yes, obviously these are some expensive options. Let's go through them. First of all, the color, Volcano Grey Metallic, a very popular color. Obviously I had it on one of my Macans, and everybody likes grey, black and white at the moment. And yes, to make your Panamera GTS more stealth, this is the color to get. Next is the GTS leather Alcantara package, which adds the GTS symbols, Alcantara to the seats, Alcantara to the armrests, and it's very expensive, $3,480. You know my feelings on Alcantara. I think this is a waste of money, but yes, if you want the real GTS experience, this is what you have to get. Alcantara, the positives to Alcantara is they really do grip your seat, and of course if you live in a hot climate, they're never going to be really scorching hot from the sun, but I think they always kind of look messy. They don't ever look brushed correctly, and obviously there's wear issues. Whereas if you didn't get this option, you get the standard full leather, which is very nice, or if you want some stitching, you could get the two-tone leather for $500 odd, $530, and you still get some stitching up the top here, and the two-tone is very nice. So yeah, I would think long and hard before getting the Alcantara internal package. It's expensive, but to complete the GTS look, I guess that's what you need to do. Next is the most expensive option that this person's added, which is $9,000 for the Porsche ceramic brakes. These brakes are outstanding. They will never fade. You can abuse them all you like. They need very little servicing, and of course they don't put black brake dust all over your wheels. However, this is a Panamera. You're probably not going to be taking it on the track, and the upgraded turbo brakes, the steel brakes that come standard, are excellent. So I don't think it's necessary. I think the person that put these brakes on did it more for cosmetic reasons than performance reasons. But yeah, if you've got the money, the ceramic, there's really no downside to the ceramic brakes. Certainly on the Panamera. On some of the sports cars they can be a little squeaky, but I've never seen that on a Panamera. They give beautiful brake feel, and you can feel that your heavy Panamera is always going to come to a rapid stop, particularly if you're going to be autobahning these cars. If you're really going to be abusing these cars, then perhaps the ceramic brakes are worth considering. But generally, $9,000, you could spend it better elsewhere. Next, $420 for the carbon steering wheel. It's to complete the look of this car, so I understand it. I'm not a big fan of the resin feel of the carbon steering wheel. I like to keep my hands on the leather. The leather feels so much better. So if you've got your hands up here, this feels kind of cold and hard. So that's why I don't like it. But I can understand whoever configured this car putting the carbon steering wheel on there, because it does complete the look. Next is $330 for the rear sun blinds. If you want your gorilla to ride in comfort and be shaded, the sun blind is the way to do it, isn't it, Albert? Yes, obviously if you've got kids in the back, this is a good option. It's fairly reasonably priced. Next is another expensive option, the 21-inch wheels. Yeah, I do like the 21-inch wheels on the Panamera, especially when combined with the air suspension to smooth it out. Yeah, 21-inch wheels really fill out those arches beautifully. It just completes the car. And in the case of this car, it's been painted to the exterior color. This particular car's had the GTS deleted off the doors, probably because of the color. It would be very hard to see, but also it's not everyone's taste to have the name of the car down the side, and it's a popular GTS thing to do that. I don't know why. Next is the lower trim of the exterior mirrors, painted in exterior color, $650. Yeah, once again, completes the look. On this car, being dark grey, I think they could probably have got away with not doing it, but obviously the person that's configuring this car is very finicky. So yeah, if you want everything to be perfect, you need to paint the lower mirrors like that. Next is an interesting one, $990 for the exclusive gear lever. It is just a slightly different shape. It gives these trim items around here, puts the Porsche crest on the top. It is a nice gear lever. Is it worth $1,000? I don't know. But once again, to complete the look of this perfect car, they've done this, and it's very, very nice. Yeah, if you've got the money, yeah, it's nice to have that crest on there, and it is a better looking gear lever than the standard one. Next is upgrading the headlights from LED to the LED matrix with the black around the edges. So this is this slight upgrade to the better headlights and darkening the edge of the lights there just to complete the look of this car. 4-zone climate control, $1,410. That sounds expensive for 4-zone, but it actually includes the fancy screen and all of the options in the back seat. So if you've got important passengers like I have that want access to everything, climate control, media, seat options and navigation even, you can add this and it gives you the screen. Very fancy in the back. Riding the back of this car is delicious. It is really a beautiful place to be, very, very comfortable, and that just is the cherry on the top, having all of those options on that screen. So your passengers have access to everything. It's very nice, but expensive. Next is model designation painted, obviously painted to the exterior color of this car. In this case, yeah, once again, just finishing the look, $350. $540 gets your vehicle's keys painted to the exterior color of this car. Once again, because it's dark grey, I mean, it's nice to have the keys painted. You're going to drop them at some point. Also gives you a little Alcantara pouch. Once again, just the details. This car has got all of the fancy details. Speaking of the fancy details, this is one that I appreciate. The steering column casing and instrument cluster in leather with deviated stitching. Yeah, it's down here. It's all of this, and if you look, it runs all the way down the edge here as well. It gets rid of the gloss plastic that's normally here. It's a very nice touch. It is very expensive for $1,300, and you don't see it that much. The angle of view in the Panamera is sort of here, so unlike the 911 where it's up there, you notice it all the time. But obviously this particular configuration of car is all about the little details, and that's what they've done. So they've finished that off as well, getting rid of any harsh plastics. Here's another one, seat console in leather. It's all the way down here. It's this area here, getting rid of the plastic around here. All of this is leather, all the way around. It's a nice touch. It's $1,700. $1,700 for part of the car that you'll only see when you're getting in and out of the car. Yeah, this car has got it all. Yeah, not many people would take that option, but once again, to finish this car perfectly, they've gone ahead and done that. Another one, $2,900 for the inner door sill guards in leather. What we're talking about here is this area here, all around down here, all around up here, all leather. Amazing. Very rare to see this. This car has got it all. Yeah, leather, even on this handle here is now leather. Yep, leather everywhere, all around here, all four doors. The details and money that has gone to this car. Very expensive option. And while we're down there, door sills with illumination, giving you the beautiful Panamera, and of course the brushed aluminium. It's a very nice touch, but expensive, $1,210. And finally, to finish the leather off, the extended leather trim package on the dash. It's up here. Normally the leather finishes about midway, goes all the way. You get leather over the sport chrono clock. Yeah, just totally finishes off the leather. In the sports cars, this is totally not worth doing because you can't see where the leather is. But in the Panamera, which has got a longer dash, yeah, it's nice to have the leather all the way. And then some nice to have options like the internal ambient lighting, $860. Yeah, allows you to pick colors of your ambient lighting, and it lights all the footwells at night. Even the surrounds of the speakers with the Burmester stereo system gets lit up to different colors. Yeah, I like the ambient lighting package, and you can adjust the brightness, and yeah, see, there it goes, green. $420 gets you additional USB outlet in the rear, which of course you need, don't you, Albert? And next is the Premium Package Plus, which bundles a bunch of popular items and slightly discounts it. $6,000 gets you a bunch of stuff. Let's go through it. Lane change assist, the Bose stereo system. However, in this car, they've upgraded to the Burmester stereo system, which is normally $7,000. But because you get the Bose, you get a discount on the Burmester in this package, so it's $6,000. Now, $6,000 is a lot of money for a stereo system. And to be honest, it's diminishing returns with these things. You know, the difference between the Bose and the Burmester might be 20–25%, but for people that love their audio, it's worth it. And in a car like this, a quiet luxury car like this, you can really hear the difference. Whereas in a sports car like the 911, the difference is less pronounced. So you do get the speakers in the front and back, and it is loud and clear. You know, it's too loud for me. I can't listen to the Burmester at full volume. It hurts my ears. That's how loud it is. Whereas I could probably listen with the Bose at full power. It would be loud, but yeah, Burmester is twice as loud again. Yeah, it's a very nice stereo system. Is it worth $7,000? To me, no. But to a lot of people that enjoy their music, they will spend this money, and it's a quality system that is super clear and super loud. So there you go. What's interesting about this one is I would always put a high-end stereo system like this with the noise glass, and this car does not have that, interestingly. There's a few options in this car that are missing, I think, and the tinted and noise reducing glass, I think, would be a good companion to the very high-end stereo system. Next is comfort access, which of course lets you open the door with a key in the pocket. Soft closed doors, very nice, especially with big heavy doors like this. You just pull them closed like that. Heat seating in the front and rear, and what's interesting about that, of course, is that because this person's selected the Alcantara is not compatible with the seat cooling or the seat venting, so that's not included here. Another reason not to get Alcantara. You know, if you want the seat ventilation, you need to get the leather package. And then finally, the assistance package. Once again, a US package bundle, $5,370 gets you 3 popular assistance packages. The first one being the night vision, which gives you the night vision camera showing in here. It'll highlight animals or people on the road that you don't necessarily see with your eyes at night, but the infrared camera will see. Works very well. I could live without it, but it's a cool feature. The adaptive cruise control and Inno drive, very nice. I love this. I would certainly get this in my Panamera. The new adaptive cruise control works very well, works with cameras and radar, so it understands the traffic around you a lot better. And if you've never used active cruise control and you're a bit shy about it, it is a wonderful feature. It really takes the stress off driving, and you can really trust them, these modern ones, to do the right thing. Brake well before a human could respond to cars braking in front of you. Yeah, really takes the stress out of driving. They're getting pretty clever with that stuff. And finally, lane keep assist. Now, lane keep assist, all it's doing, it'll hold you in the lane for a few seconds, maybe if you're not paying attention, but that's it. It's not like... Now, lane keep assist, it will hold you in the lane if you're not paying attention, or if you tend to wander lanes. It's pretty cool, but only for a few seconds. Like if you take your hands off the wheel, it'll keep you in the lane, but after about, I think, 10 or 15 seconds, it'll disengage again. It's not like a Tesla, it won't self-drive. So it's really just to stop you from wandering lanes. Once again, if you're a good driver, you don't need this feature. So that's it. That's the $50,000 worth of options on this car. And as I said, there's a few things that personally I would consider putting myself. Like I would I really like the head-up display. It doesn't always have to be on, and some people don't like it. But yeah, head-up display is an option in these cars, relatively cheap. I'd put that in here, and as I said before, I'd put the noise-cancelling glass and the tinted windows just to complete the look of this car. But otherwise, wow, this car is beautifully configured. Obviously expensive, but Porsches are expensive and options are expensive. But yes, this car, they've really gone nuts with the options on this car. Okay, so that's Albert and I's quick look at the Panamera GTS. It's actually a pretty good package, the GTS package. I take back my original comments. I think it's a worthwhile package. I think it's a worthwhile model. Obviously, there's no special engineering that goes into them, but as a package model, it is beautifully done. Most of what you get in the package is well worthwhile. And as I said, you know, you're getting $24,000 worth of options, plus all of those turbo, engine, bits and pieces, brakes and rear spoiler. It is a worthwhile package. This particular car is amazing, all the options in this car. Not many people could afford this many options in their car, but those that can, this is a beautiful way of doing it. This is a very nice example of one of these cars. And the Panamera models themselves, while they're not selling that great, are an interesting model because they sit price-wise right between the Cayenne and the 911, and driving-wise, I feel the same as well. You know, they're more exciting to drive than a Cayenne, but more comfortable than a 911. So someone that wants something a little sportier than a Cayenne, but more comfortable than a 911, this is the car to get. Yeah, they're super lovely, luxury, high-speed cruisers. Yeah, I totally love the new Panameras. I wish they sold a little better, but I understand the market's moving to SUVs. I mean, I own an SUV, so I'm just as much to blame. So yes. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. Albert and I will be back with another video soon. And yes, Panamera GTS, a pretty cool car. Oh, by the way, this particular car is for sale at Porsche of Fairfield. If you're interested, I'll put a link to their site just below. I thank them as always for lending me their cars. This one's a pretty cool one. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye then. And if you're wondering where to acquire the ridiculous t-shirts that I wear in my videos, they're all here in my store, all your favorites, including offensive stamps and my rapid dry towels as well. Yes, Nick Murray t-shirts, being a little inappropriate since 2016.